What's up, guys? It's
TM and
Beth.
welcome back to Talkin' Boosh, our podcast series.
For this episode, we'll be talking bullshit about our
summer shenanigans.
Ooh, that was good. Very
Believe it or
insane.
not, that's our third try.
Yeah.
This is our first time filming, but it was our first practice run of that. Never seems to be
God.
less chaotic.
Every time, we just haven't gotten better, but that's okay. It's fine.
It'd be better
We're
if we were in
talented.
person, but, trying to say
Yeah.
the same thing at the same time over Zoom on two rural Ontario Wi-Fis,
Yeah,
it's a task.
It's not even Zoom, it's Google Meet, which is just like 10 times worse. But
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what? We do
Yep.
what you gotta do, I guess.
Yep, longtime fans too might notice that I stopped saying that this is a video series that emulates a podcast format because I don't know why we were being so nerdy about it before. It's a
Yeah.
podcast. It's a podcast. That's all.
It's a podcast. It doesn't even emulate it. It's a podcast. That's
It is
literally
a
what
podcast. You can't even call it
Yeah.
a video because there's no video.
There's no video. That's fine.
We
Yeah.
thought about doing a video this week, but considering this is our first time doing this in a while,
Ooh, hot
we
minute,
decided to not do that.
Let's get
We'll
back into
start that
the-
next time. Let's keep it easy on ourselves. Also,
Good lord.
I'm going to apologize right now, and just in case you can hear my loud ass AC unit that's right beside me. So sorry about that, but a girl doesn't want to
Yeah.
burn to death.
Yeah, let's keep ourselves cool, shall we? And plus, you're like, I don't know, you're higher up, so I'm sure heat rises.
I am. I'm in the attic of this old house that was built in 1904, I think she said.
It's
So
giving
yeah.
Cinderella. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Go get your Prince
without
Charming.
the AC, I would die. So.
Oh lord. Stay with me,
But-
please.
But yeah, Summer Shenanigans is kind of a misleading title because it makes it sound like we were actually up to something when in fact all we did was work.
Yeah, pretty much. I have zero recollection of like actual hobbies that I did over the summer.
It's because I didn't.
Yeah, that's true. I actually did nothing. I've lost all my hobbies. That's okay.
But yeah, today's episode will consist of like work stories, maybe some personal life stuff that happened. And yeah, so
Yeah.
again,
Some
sorry
catching up.
there's nothing to look at. You can't see our beautiful, beautiful faces, but we
Just
kind of forget how
gorgeous.
to be YouTubers, so
I guess it's kind of good that we don't have like a video because I'm sure I have like 10 gazillion popcorn kernels in my teeth, and that's not something you guys want to be looking at right now. I think that's gross.
yeah. No, probably not. I can't even see Bethany because of our Wi-Fi. We had to turn off
So
cameras so
bad.
that it would stream better. So don't worry, guys. Not only can you not see us, but we can't see us. So
Oh,
don't
I
worry,
miss you. I miss
you're
your
in it
lovely
with
face.
us. I know, I know.
I need like a big photo of you just like at the back of my desk. I have like this board thingy. I'll just stick it there so I can stare into your eyes while I talk to you.
Whenever
I
whenever you get bored of school readings, you can just stare at me longingly.
stare at you. I might give you a smooch or two.
Well,
if
I've
I'm
got a
feeling
picture of
little
you
risque.
beside me. That picture we took in the photo booth back in like
Right.
spring break. It's right beside
Oh,
me
wait.
right now.
Wait, where is mine? Mine is here. Oh, it's here. So I do have a picture of you. It was just
Exactly.
hiding.
Look at that. Friendship blossoms.
I'm gonna smooch it to death tonight. Watch out.
Oh, okay. I feel like that doesn't need to go on the internet.
Sorry, guys. Please bleep that out. Anyways. No, don't bother.
All right. Well,
No.
working
Ugh.
is a thing we have to do, unfortunately, in this society. And even when you do it, you still can't afford anything.
Anything. Oh, Lord.
Anyways, I guess we'll preface by saying what we actually were doing this summer. So, for me personally, I went back to the same place I worked last summer. And when I first intended to return to that place, I thought I would be working in the same department, which was, so it's basically like a big resort type of thing. We've got like a general store type place with the groceries and the ice cream, and then We've got like a gas dock to, boats can, get gas. And then further up, we've got like a little fry hut type thing that serves like food. And I intended to be working in the store again, serving ice cream and, cashing people up with their groceries again. But what
Classic
ended up
retail, yeah.
happening, what ended up happening was somebody dropped out that was supposed to be working in Fry Hut, and I volunteered because I was like, you know what, sure, like, I'll do it. Like, it gives me better hours. I can get 8-day hours, get the full-time work I wanted.
Yep.
And actually, it was both the best and worst thing I ever did. So,
Work in
it was
general,
food
that's so
services.
true.
I worked food services is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Oh, what a joyful time in food services.
What about you? Share with the people what you
Um,
did.
what I did. Well, I was a research assistant. That's what it is. I did
Nerd
interning.
alert.
Yeah, I know. So embarrassing. Anyways, um, so yeah, I did research and I didn't actually research anything. I did like sampling and stuff. I worked in barns with a lot of cows, a lot of baby cows. And it was a good time, honestly. I got beat up a lot by cows, but that's okay. It was great. It was a really good job. Yeah. So honestly, tiring, but very, very good summer, I would say. Like, pretty good, I will say.
Yeah, I
Besides
mean,
the
like,
fact yeah, didn't have a social life, but that's
yeah,
okay.
I mean, that's always a deficit. I mean,
Yeah.
like, for me personally, the environment of the workplace was beautiful, right? Like, because I was working right on the water, so every day, like, my view was like the lake, the boats
Just
going by,
gorgeous.
the water and everything, and so that was really nice. And I don't think I'm ever gonna find a job with like a better view. And I will
Right.
definitely miss that. But at times, food service is not great. Who would have thought, guys? Who would have thought? However,
Shocker.
I still can't say that I like, what's the word? Like, regret choosing to volunteer for that position because I made so many more tips than I would have made if I worked in the store. And
Yes.
I got so many more hours than I would have gotten because most people that work there work in the store, and so it's like your hours are divided by like 8 people, but
Right.
for the fry hut it was just me and one other guy. So,
Oh
and
Lord.
I worked more days than he did. Like I worked 5 days out of the week and he worked maybe 3, I think, and a lot of the times he would end up getting sent home if it wasn't busy or something. So, it's
Oh
mostly just
man.
me, but
How
I'm
many
not.
hours did you work like weekly average? What's your hours?
Well, so at the very, very beginning of the season, because university kids get out in April, I was just doing
Right.
stocking shifts. So, like when they would get food deliveries that needed to be stocked on the shelves in the store, that's what I would be doing before any of the like high school kids came up to the cottage.
Right.
So that's what I started with. So there was like maybe 2 shifts a week back then for like a month. And then a little bit more because it was training, I think, in no, actually I think it was 2 months, 2 months of stalking. I honestly can't remember. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah,
But
honestly. God.
essentially then I started training in the fry hut around June, I guess, May, June. And then I had a few shifts in the store before I realized I didn't want to work in the store because it's actually like painful. The fact that you have to stand all day and the customers.
Yeah.
Scooping ice cream is honestly one of the worst jobs. So please be polite to anyone that's scooping your ice cream because like the
Right.
amount of times I want to just like strangle a customer for just being
Lord.
dumb,
Yeah.
like it drives me crazy. Like so you're supposed to like go up to the cashier, tell them your size, tell them like what cones you want, pay for
Yeah.
it, and
Hey, random
then
cashier. What's I'm gonna tell you my size.
well that's what you
I
do,
just
right?
okay.
You go up and you order either a 1 scoop, a 2 scoop, kitty scoop,
Right.
whatever. You say, "Oh, I
Oh,
want a
size of ice
waffle
cream. Yeah.
cone, whatever," because then that's what costs money, right? And then once you've paid for all the stuff you want, then you go and somebody else further down the line will scoop the ice cream for you, and that's when you can like pick your flavors or whatever. But the amount of customers that just start like ordering their ice cream from the people that are supposed to be scooping it and they haven't paid yet, or while they're ordering from the cashier and like saying, "Oh, I'll have a double scoop," they'll be like, "I'll have a double scoop, and one of them's gonna be cookies and cream, and the other one's gonna be Rocky Road." And I'm like, ma'am, I cannot put your ice cream flavor into the system. You're gonna have to tell her and not me.
It's like, ma'am, I don't give two craps about your stupid ice cream flavors, but I'm so glad to know you like cookies and cream because that's the
I
best
know,
flavor. So.
I know, and it slows everything down because when you get a rush, because like most of the business at that place comes from the ice cream. Like that's where most people are going. On a hot day, you can get like a whole lineup of people out the door, and so
Oh wow.
when you're already stressed with how many customers you have, and then you have like adults, like okay, it's a little less bad when it's like the child, because you know the child doesn't give a shit what kind of size and cone they're getting. They just start screaming, "Superhero! I want superhero!" But when it's the adults and they're like, and it's like 5 people in a group, and they're like, "All right, I'll have one scoop, and that's gonna be a superhero, and then I'll have a double scoop, and that's gonna be bubblegum," and I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm not charging you for the flavor of ice cream, therefore it's not in the system, okay? I can't."
Yeah.
Don't tell me, tell her. I don't care what flavor you want.
Yeah, like girl,
So,
I can see how people can mix that up, but that's also very frustrating because it's like, girl, thanks for the information I didn't ask for, but
but
you
it's
know.
also written. It's written everywhere.
No.
Like, it says pay first, then pick a flavor. And people just, they have tunnel vision. They just see person and they go, "I want ice cream, I order." I don't read,
Give me
I
ice
order.
cream. I want superhero ice cream.
No, literally,
Yeah.
working in retail will show you how stupid humanity is, and it's really upsetting.
Really
But
just
yeah,
get to see, yeah.
that's mainly why I decided I could not deal with that. That plus the having to stand all day, because in the Fry Hut, it's like it's basically a food truck. Like it's just one person. Like I'm cooking, I'm taking the orders, I'm doing everything, right? But when there's no customers, there's a stool in there so I can sit down. So a lot of the times if it wasn't busy, I was watching movies, I was reading a book. Like you can't
Oh,
really argue
nice.
with like how good of a job that is in comparison with other things. So
Mm-hmm.
as
Yeah,
with
I
any
mean,
retail
not
job, it's mostly just the customers.
that are the issue, yeah. And I guess, like, that's unpreventable. Everywhere you go, people are something else, that's for sure. But I don't know what it is with, like, retail stores, but, like, at my old store, I was never allowed to sit either. Like,
I know.
I'm not sure why that's a thing. If it's, like, just, like, traditional, that's how it's supposed to be, or I don't know, it's very bizarre.
Well, like my boss would always say that like it makes it seem like your workers are bored or like tired if a
Mm.
customer walks in and sees all the workers sitting on the floor,
Mm.
which like I
Yeah.
guess, but like there were
Mm-hmm.
times where customers would come in and we would all be sitting on the floor, and because it's like not busy, like we weren't going to sit on the floor if like people were constantly walking in. But if there were no customers
Mm-hmm.
and we were sitting on the floor, sometimes we'd have a customer walk in and they'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, must not be busy today. You guys bored?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, well, you're like our fourth customer. Ha ha ha." But they never care. They're always like one guy I think came in and we were all sitting on the floor behind the cashier thing, and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Oh, don't no worries. Don't get up. Don't get up. I'm just looking around." Cuz like it's cottage country, right? So like people are on
Mm-hmm.
vacation, they don't really care. But then we also apparently had multiple people complain that we all look like we want to kill ourselves. So, you've got the guys who don't care and who are normal, and then you've got the weirdos who go and tell the boss that her teenage workers look like they want to kill themselves. So.
Like, hello, this is not like I'm working for, I don't know, a really great I don't know, not saying your company's bad, but this is just like some random ice cream shop. Like,
Like we're teenagers and it's summer and we're working.
mhm.
Like it's
Like obviously not the
oh sorry,
happiest.
sorry, we're sitting down. Yeah, we definitely want to kill ourselves because we're on the floor.
Yeah, let's like the thing is, I feel like if like people just bought like normal stools for people to sit on, like put them behind the counter or somewhere where their employees could just sit for like 2 minutes when
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing happening. I feel like that's just so much better than having your your employees sitting on the ground. That just looks bad
Exactly.
for the entire business.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't hurt to buy like two or three stools because then at least your employees can sit down if they need to. Because
Exactly.
I don't think it's fair to have people standing for like 8 hours like on end, like never ever sitting unless they're on
Mm-hmm.
break. Like that feels inhumane, and I don't understand like the stereotype, or not even stereotype, just like how normalized it
The
is. It's so
standard,
weird.
yeah.
It's such a weird standard. That's what it is.
But like that's exactly what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had one more like store shift scheduled, and this was like
Mm-hmm.
in between when I was being trained. So I was basically like I was very comfortable working in the fry hut at this point, and I knew that I could like sit down in the fry hut. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a store shift, and I worked like whatever, like a 6 hour day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I felt when I got home was so much different than the way I felt when I worked an 8 hour shift in the fry hut.
Right.
And I was like, why would I want to stay in the store when I'm getting less hours, less
Mm-hmm.
tips, feeling
Mm-hmm.
so much shittier than I
Mm-hmm.
do when I work in the fry hut? So honestly,
Right.
I'm like very happy with my decision. I ended up making like almost $800 just in tips for the whole
Oh
summer.
wow.
Like I saved it
That's
all up, and
amazing.
yeah, it's amazing.
That's spending money right there. Hey. Oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah.
mostly gone, I'm not gonna lie. Textbooks,
Oh.
they ate it
Yeah,
up.
they drain you dry. Oh my goodness, the textbooks.
It's
Yeah,
rough. It's rough out here.
it's
But
really
enough
rough.
about me. What about you?
Um, honestly, my job was pretty chill because my boss was really nice and very chill. So I'm not gonna talk too much about like the actual work, but like I got to sit down. It wasn't customer service at all. It was literally just animals, and like I would talk to like my coworkers and stuff. So it was like team working, but I never dealt with like just random people coming in. So it was never I never had like really crazy days, um, honestly. But I mean, there have has been like really crazy busy days, but it's never been like a bad day because I had a bad customer. It's always been like, today was just really busy. I didn't get like I worked for 10 hours straight or 8 hours or whatever the shift was, and I didn't get to like sit down and read Twilight because I would bring Twilight with me and read it in between, you know, samples.
Yeah.
Like it was really I would say a really chill job, and usually after a shift I would feel really good because I was like I did what I like and this is like something I love anyways, so it's honestly chill. It was a good job. It was really fun to see all the cows, and then just I had really good coworkers, and like the whole, my bosses and everything were great.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't really have complaints on like the actual work side. Uh I will say I did gain a lot of muscle. Um, so
Oh
I
hell
am
yeah.
buff as hell. I am buff as hell. Don't get me started. Every
Can I
time I
get
see my mother, hmm?
can I get 2 tickets to the gun show?
Oh yes you can. Front row seat, baby.
Oh yeah.
Um, but every time I would see my mom, I'd be like, "Hey mom, check this out," and I would flex, and she'd be like, "Oh, very good." Um, I don't know. She wasn't very supportive of my hopes and dreams of getting really big muscles, but yeah. Um,
She
but
doesn't
I got
understand the
sick.
grind.
She does not understand the grind, which is okay, I guess. But like, girl,
She's just
please.
jealous. She wants to be as
She's
swole as you.
I'm not gonna lie, my mom is so swole. It's because she's had so many kids, and like the freaking diaper bags are always like a bazillion kilos. Lady is buff as hell. Don't underestimate moms that have to go like grocery shopping. Good lord.
I love moms.
Anyways,
I never underestimate them.
I love moms like a lot. Anyways, sorry, mother. Um, But yeah, honestly, good job. I've had some curious characters as I worked because I worked in different barns and some of them were far from home. So I got to stay at like a house for free where I would live and then I would work and I would also live there at the same time, which was really cool. But I have some really some really interesting things happening because it was my first time living away from home for like an extended amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great, but oh boy, some interesting characters, I will tell ya. But yeah, we can get into that later. But yeah, it was definitely probably less. I wouldn't say your job was miserable, but like,
It
customer
was,
service, not really
yeah.
customer service.
I'd say your job is very physically draining, whereas my job was very
Mm-hmm.
mentally and emotionally draining at times.
For sure. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
But I
Just
guess
buckle up.
now that the overview of what our jobs actually were is over, we
Mm-hmm.
can get into some of the specific stories,
Mm-hmm.
and we can just like kind of bounce back and forth, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
between
For
us.
sure. Okay.
Um, let's see here. I've got a few things written down. I'm trying to decide which story I'd like to tell first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll
To the
tell.
audience.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm just apologizing in advance. I snuck a couple kernels in my mouth, and if you hear chewing noises, no, you didn't. Anyways, continue. So sorry.
Um, so these aren't in chronological order, but so these two stories happen on the same day, all right? So,
Right.
again, most I can't remember the context for most of these things, but I remember one of these days I was not that busy, but
Mm-hmm.
for some reason I had an entire summer camp rock up to
Oh.
the hut. And like I said earlier, okay, it's a
Mm-hmm.
food truck and I'm one
Mm-hmm.
person. Uno
Oh God.
persona, okay?
The gang's all here. Let's
It's me,
go.
it's me, four fryers, four, and one stove. Sorry, oven, not stove. No,
Mm.
stove. Yeah, a
So.
stove. I was right the first time.
Oh God.
Anyways,
Lady.
that's what I'm working with, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The summer camp rocks up. I can't
Mm-hmm.
even tell you how many poutines I have now made in my lifetime, just in general from this whole summer. But this summer
Uh-huh.
camp, bro, drove me mad because it wasn't like there was an adult that was ordering for
Mm-hmm.
like the whole summer camp. There was like
Mm-hmm.
five groups of kids that kept ordering. So like one girl comes up, she's like, "Oh, I'll have four large poutines," and I was like, "Okay, perfect." I thought that was for the whole summer camp. Nope, it
It's
wasn't.
like
It was for
easy.
one
Oh.
group. So I was like, okay.
No.
And then another group comes up. They're like, "Hi, I'll have a large poutine and a large fry." And I was like, "Mm-hmm, sure."
That's a lot of fries.
And then a child comes up on his own and pays for his own
Mm-hmm.
large poutine. And I was like,
Mm.
"Okay, sure."
Please get out of here.
And so in total, I think I had maybe, I don't remember, but like eight large poutines and like a large fry or something like that
Oh
for
my
this whole
gosh.
group of children. And I was like, how are these
Oh
children
my.
eating this much food? Like, I think they need to go on a diet because this is
Oh my.
ridiculous.
This is so much
Um,
oil, so much cheese. Guys, let's stop. Let's think about this.
I know, and that's not even the worst part though, okay? And
Yeah.
this has happened to me before with other
Oh
kids.
God.
But it's usually just like one family that has like one kid or like two kids,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes I'll like try and like engage with them if I can tell that they're looking at me. I'll like wave at them or
Right.
something. But this whole fucking summer camp, bro, was stood at the window, and every time I was in view, they were looking at me like I was some sort of zoo animal.
Oh God.
And with all these poutines and the looks on their stupid little faces, I was at my wits' end. I was about to throw the poutines at them and say, "No, no poutine for you. Go away."
Go away, please. Not their dumb little faces. The poor children. No. I feel like I don't know why kids are like that, but they're
Like,
just so. Ugh.
you can all imagine what I'm talking about, right? It's like that little kid,
Yeah.
mouth open stare, bro. Like,
The
into
hide
your
my kids there.
soul.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. And then, okay, this is the other half of this story. while I was making these poutines for all these people, another guy who was not associated with the children came up just by himself, and he ordered. Guess what? Guess what he ordered?
A large poutine.
Yeah, a large poutine. And I was like, sure, I'll make you a large poutine. But anyways, just before taking his order, I had a large poutine for the summer camp that was ready. So what I do is I open the window and I put it on this like little ledge that we have outside of the window, and I call out the order. And so I did that, and he was standing right there because like the ledge for the window is also where I take people's orders. So he was standing just kind of off to the side, and I was like, and I was gonna call out these people's order before I took his order, right? So I put the poutine outside on the ledge, and then I call out as I do, large poutine, right? And this man, he's like, mind you, like 30 to, no, not even 30, he's probably like 40 to 50. Just from beside me, just goes, large poutine, and mocks me.
No.
And then pretended like nothing happened and turned around and was like, yeah, hi, I'll have a large poutine, please.
The
and I was like,
audacity.
I was like, what just happened?
Oh my, I would break down and cry. I would be like, why are you doing this?
Like, it happened so fast, I didn't even, like, register it. Because I just went, large poutine? And he goes, large poutine. Sir.
Who does that? Who does that? That's so weird.
It was so uncalled for.
That's like a brutal attack. That's so rude.
Yeah, so there's one of my stories.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have anything you'd like to share?
Okay, where do I start? There's a couple stories. I have a lot of stories about creepy guys.
Oh, fun.
Because, yeah, no, that was like a very common theme in my trip.
Womanhood!
Yeah, I love it. Because I lived in a small town for a lot of it, because that's where the barn was. And I have a couple stories from there, but I will say, one day after work, I decided to go on a rollerblade ride, because I have rollerblades, and I was like, I'm gonna go for a cute little ride. And I think I've told you about this before, but I'm gonna say it again, because it's crazy. Not even crazy, it was just so weird. So I get my cute little outfit on. I had, like, you know, jeans and, like, a tank top or whatever. And this town is really small, and it's very conservative. And there's a lot of Mennonites that live around, live around the area. And I will say, like, at least, like, 70% of the population is Mennonite, which is, like, okay, fair enough. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about Mennonites, but, like, it was, like, you get the gist. It was very conservative, and I think the sight of me in a tank top that's, like, kind of cropped, so you can see, like, my shoulders and, like, maybe a bit of my stomach, I think that, like, broke the men in that city, because good lord. Like, the amount of stares I got, but that's not even, like, the story. So I'm sitting on the curb outside my house, or the house I was staying at, and I'm putting on my rollerblades, and the neighbor across the street is mowing his lawn. His lawn is, like, not even that big. It's, like, your average, like, suburban lawn that's, like, it would take, like, 5 minutes to mow with a lawnmower. He's using, like, an electric one that you ride, and to lawnmower it, which is, like, fair enough. You definitely could do that. Maybe he has, like, a disability. I didn't think about this, but maybe he had, like, a disability where you can, like, push a lawnmower. It was just bizarre to see, because I was, like, I saw him mow his lawn for, like, a minute, and then that was it. He was just, like, done, and I was like, oh, okay. It was just kind of weird, but, so anyways, I was putting on my rollerblades, and he, like, stops his lawnmower. He, like, turns it off. And he, like, calls out to me, and he's like, you're going rollerblading? And I'm sitting there, like, who just talked to me? Because I had my headphones on. I take my headphones off, and I'm like, yeah. Like, what the fuck do you think I'm doing? I'm putting my rollerblades. No, I'm going, I don't know, jungle cruising. Like, of course I'm going rollerblading. What do you mean? It's so frustrating, but it's fine. I was like, yeah. maybe he just wants to chat with me, because, like, old men love chatting with random people, I guess. And he's like, oh, alright, so, how often do you do that? And I'm like, here and there. Oh, I don't know why you're asking me this. I think he was a little confused because he's never seen me before.
Mm.
And I'm also, like, I think also the fact that I'm, like, brown, like, I'm a person of colors, I'm mixed, so I'm, like, brownish. They were,
Mm-hmm.
like, a little off-put with, like, the fact that there's a brown person in their very white town. So they were just, like interrogating me on why I'm going rollerblading. They kept on asking me. They're like,
Yeah, I'm gonna
"So
go
is it
rob a
fun?"
bank.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just go.
This is my
You know,
getaway.
let me go rob the Domino's. That's like 10 minutes from here. Like, what do you think I'm doing? So he's like asking me. He's like, "So like, how often do you do that? Like where are you going?" Which was a weird question to ask in the first place, but I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to the pizza joint. I'm gonna go get myself a whole Domino's pizza because I'm hungry." Um, Literally asked me like, "So how long have you been here in the town and stuff like that," which is you could probably just chalk that up to being like, just an old man who wants to talk to people, which is fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also like, I don't know, he was just really odd in the way he asked me. I'm sure like anyone out there that's been like, hit on by like or has interacted in an old man not in an old man with an old man with an old man, like you kind of get like the vibe that I'm going
Yeah.
for. I'm sure you understand, like this
Common
is not
female
just some
experience.
exactly, this is not just like some guy who wants to chit chat with me. This is him like wanting to know what size my pants are. It was very bizarre. And the way after like we talked for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and the way I got up and I booked it on my little rollerblades, I was like zoom 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 zoom, and I ran or like zoomed away, I guess, from there because I was like that was so uncomfortable. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
after that whole situation, I'm zooming down the road and it's a very small town, so they have one Domino's, and I think that's it. Like for pizza places, there's a Domino's, and that's okay because I like Domino's. So I go in and get my Domino's. It's a small pizza, but I eat all of it because like, a small's for one, okay? It was so good. And then after, I'm zooming back. I did fall on my ass once, which was really embarrassing, but that's fine. It's fine. I come back to my house, and that same guy is still at the front of his lawn. He's still lawn mowing. I don't know why, because his lawn is mowed already. Like, I can see, like, the lawn has been mowed. Dude,
How
he's just,
long were
like,
you
going in
gone?
circles. Like, maybe 10, 15 minutes? Because, like, I mean, the rollerblade ride was, like, a 5-minute ride, there and back, like, combined. And then the pizza took, like, 7 minutes. So I got back, it was like 15 minutes, even 20 maybe, and he's still like going in circles on his lawnmower.
That's dedication.
Literally, I was like, okay, pop off. Like, it was very weird because his lawn is so tiny. Like, again, it would take 5 minutes if you had like a pushable lawnmower, but it was so weird. And he sees me with my stupid pizza in my scraped up hands, and he's like, "Oh, you got your pizza?" And he turns off his thing again, his lawnmower. And I'm like, yeah, I got my pizza. And I take off my shoes. And like I put my headphones on because I don't want to talk to him anymore. And he's like, oh, uh-huh, okay. And then I like look at him and he's like trying to start up his lawnmower, but it's not starting again. It's like it goes and I'm like, oh, that's embarrassing. So I'm like, okay, have a good day, and I book it inside. So that's my story of that one specific man. That was kind of like that's a little weird, you know.
Amen. You gotta hate them.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Amen. Oh boy.
Sorry to any men that are
Like
listening. You obviously know we're not talking about you because if you're listening, you're
yeah,
probably our friend and we trust you, but you
and
know
we
what I
trust you,
mean.
but yeah,
But we mean men as a general whole. These men, you know.
these men that are Like, again, maybe he's just a lonely man that wanted to start up a conversation, but I don't know, his intonation was very bizarre, and I did not feel comfortable, so it doesn't matter either way. Yeah.
Speaking of men,
As we do, we speak of men and men. Mm-hmm.
um, this is more of a good story than a bad story,
Oh,
but
good.
there was this one day when I was working the fry hut with my coworker,
Mm-hmm.
and we got an ice delivery, not for like us, for the store, but
Right.
so like there's a truck driver, and he comes with all the ice, and then he like loads it up on a little dolly and like carts it into the store, right?
The Iceman! Oh, the Iceman's here! Yeah.
I never knew icemen could be so hot because, oh boy, this man,
Mm-mm-mm.
he was the full package. He had like, those like mullet haircuts that are really popular right now, or like with the shaved
Mm-hmm.
sides where it's like the mohawk mullet type thing. He
Mm-hmm.
had that, but not in a redneck way because he had curly hair. Like he had like
Ooh.
curly little like dirty blonde like mohawk mullet locks,
Ooh,
It
okay,
was
that's
so
cool.
cute. He was wearing
Mm.
glasses. You know I
Ooh.
love a little nerd. And
Mm-hmm.
he was buff. He was buff as hell.
Let's go, my jock nerd. I
Oh,
love
but you
it.
know me, I don't know how to speak to men, so I did not interact with him. At one point, he
Oh.
dropped some ice on the ground, and my coworker, who like knew that I was like into him, was like, "You should go
Mm-hmm.
help him." And I was like, "Nah, I can't. I can't do it."
Screw that guy. No way.
And then he never
Yeah.
came back again. Every other ice guy was somebody else, somebody
Oh
new.
no.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's fine.
I
It's
miss the
whatever.
Iceman. I think I think you guys are meant to be, honestly.
Iceman, if you're out there and I just described you to a T, hit me up. Comment in the
Hit me
bottom.
up. Comment down below, s'il vous plaît.
Comment down below if you're the Iceman.
Guys, let's go find the Iceman on I was gonna say Snapchat. No, on like Twitter. Definitely go find him. Let's
Um,
yeah.
but that was kind of a short story, so let me add to this by also saying
Mm-hmm.
again on the note of men. Um, so
Yep.
there was this one day where I wasn't that busy, so I had a lot of time to just sit and think. And I was listening to my
Mm-hmm.
music, looking out at the water, thinking, and I was just thinking about like, so one of the things that we serve at the Fry Hut is like a fish dinner, with the deep fried like pickerel or whatever it is. I don't even know what kind of fish it was.
Mm-hmm.
Fries, coleslaw, like the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the type of people that usually order a fish dinner is usually the same. It's like men that look like they're alcoholics, and
Mm-hmm.
they're fishermen, and they've been like 3 times divorced.
Oh
They've
god.
got like fat beer bellies, gray
Mm-hmm.
hair, probably a mustache. They're wearing like some kind of fishing paraphernalia on their body. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking like that to myself. And then what happens? But immediately after I have that thought, a man fitting that exact description walks up, and I'm like, okay. And I go, hi, what can I get you? And he goes, hi, I'll have a 2-piece fish dinner. And I had to stop
Mm.
myself from laughing because of how funny that was to me. I
I
was
love
like,
stereotypes.
I was like, no shot, I just got that so correct just now.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. No, honestly, I feel like it's like the people that order like a fish fillet from McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
If you order fish fillet from McDonald's, actually, I guess that's a little too broad because sometimes it's for religious reasons, but
It's like
if it's not, yeah.
it's like when I used to work ice cream. Only old people are ordering rum and raisin.
Literally, oh my god. My dad orders ramen raisin.
Ew, your
Sorry,
dad's
Dad.
an old person.
Ew, my dad. Yeah. He's Asian, what can I say?
But anyways, I
Aging,
passed
yeah.
the talking stick back to you.
Alright. Um, I think about it now, and the amount of silly little stories I have from that little town I lived in for like a month and a half. Oh boy. Um, so, um, this was like recently, kind of. So it was near like the middle of July, not July. This was like the beginning of August, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And, or actually, no, maybe the middle of July. And we're like getting ready for, I don't remember what it was, but we're getting ready for something. And we realized we don't have, I don't remember what it was, but we needed something from Dollarama.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like the beginning of the day, and there's like no sampling to do. There's like nothing happening. There's no babies being born. Literally so chill. So my boss is like, hey, let's go on a girls' trip, and we're gonna go to Dollarama. There's one Dollarama in the town, and the town's like maybe 10 minutes away. So it's like a 15-minute drive, not even that far. And we're like, hell yeah, let's do it. So all three of us hop into our car, and we go all the way to Dollarama. And this is, since my days start usually at 5 a.m., we forget that like normal people hours is like, 8 a.m. to like, 5 p.m. So usually stores aren't open at 8 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
like usually. So we get there at like 8:30 or like maybe 8:25, and we're there, and we're like, we park in the parking lot, and we're like, oh, it's open, because there's like, the lot is like almost completely full. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why? We're like, oh, it's open. But then I realized there's people lining up outside of Dollarama's door. Like, the door. They're just, like, in a line. And, again, this is, like, a very Mennonite town, so, like, half of them are Mennonite. The other half are, like, I don't know, just, like, regular rural Ontarioians. Ontarioians, yeah. So it's, like, there's maybe, like, 10 people, 15 people, plus their kids in a line. So, like, there's a lot of people out there. And we're like, why are they lined up? Is there like a sale going on at Dollarama? I don't know why that would matter because it's Dollarama, but. And then we go to the door, and it doesn't even open until 9 a.m., and it's like 8:25. So there's just people lined up at 8:25 in the morning for Dollarama. And there's like at least a quarter of the population of the town is there. Like, what is happening? It was so bizarre. And I guess like the town is so small that they don't have anything else to do, so they just line up at Dollarama until it
That's
opens, and
sad.
they spend their day at Dollarama, and like it is sad. Like that's so sad. Like what? They don't have like a mall or like a bowling alley or anything. We just have Dollarama, which is so
Wow.
fair because I love Dollarama, but like not that much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really something. Could you imagine if Dollarama had a sale?
God.
Everything now 50% off, meaning it's basically free.
Basically free because it's like 25 cents. Yeah. God. Yeah, no, it was insane, honestly. It actually made me realize that we came from like a small townish, like it was a
Mm-hmm.
small town, but it wasn't that small. At least we had
Yeah.
hobbies, like
Mm-hmm.
sort of.
Like, yeah, I've been.
Um,
The mall here where I am now is like a two-story, like fairly decent mall, and
mhm,
it's like it makes me think about how like our mall was one story and like barely had
mhm,
anything, but like in retrospect, like a lot of places have a
mhm.
lot less.
Yeah, in retrospect, like ours was more in the medium side than
Yeah.
small. But gosh, yeah, that was such a weird realization to realize that like, hey, some people don't have like a Walmart. Like the
Do you
nearest
think they
Walmart's like
do
a
their
half an hour
grocery
away.
shopping at Dollarama?
I hope not. They had a no frills, so
Ah,
yeah. I don't know why they weren't lining up at no frills, but I don't know. Yeah, it was
strange.
just very bizarre. I
Um,
say.
and
Mm-hmm.
speaking of money, just gonna keep
Mm-hmm.
segueing like that. Speaking of blank, so this one's not about work, and
Mm-hmm.
I think if she could access the internet, she would not appreciate me saying this, but that's
Oh
okay, because
Lord.
she'll never be able to access the internet, so she'll never know.
Oh
But
gosh.
So is everyone here? I mean, I'm speaking to you like you could answer me, but I assume you are.
Mm.
I'm assuming everyone is familiar with the fact that AI has now gained the ability to scam people using the voices of our loved ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, about several months ago, my grandma got a call from my cousin. Um, I'll change his name, even though nobody even knows who he is. Let's call him
Yeah.
Ricky. She gets a
Ricky.
call from my cousin Ricky,
Mm-hmm.
and it's him saying, "Oh, Grandma, I just got into a car accident. I'm in the hospital. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's really bad. They want to charge me. I need money for legal and medical expenses, and you're the only one I've
Oh
told. I
gosh.
can't tell my dad. He'll kill me.
Mm.
Like, I'm so scared, Grandma. Please help." And my grandma, being the wonderful woman that she is,
Oh no.
was like, "Yes, of course I'll help you, Ricky. Anything you need."
Mm-hmm.
And so she sent his lawyer
Mm-hmm.
$9,000.
No. Oh my gosh.
And so during the summer, she finally opened up to my aunt and said, "Oh, let's give my aunt a name.
Mildred.
Fran, Aunt Fran." Um, she
Okay.
was like, "Oh, Fran, you'll never believe it. I have to come clean to you about something. Nobody else knows. You can't tell anyone, but Ricky
Mm-hmm.
was in a car accident and they want to put him in jail, and I've been helping him. I've given him money."
Mm.
And my Aunt Fran had the poor unfortunate job of breaking the news to her and being like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry, but no, no, Ricky's
Oh
fine.
no.
He's in
That's
college.
horrible.
He's not in the hospital or in prison. And I think you've been scammed."
Mm.
And my poor grandmother wept so hard.
Oh, this poor lady.
So, yeah, guys, watch out for your relatives. Even if we know that it can happen, make sure your
Mm-hmm.
grandparents and all the old folks who don't
Mm-hmm.
know, because,
Mm-hmm.
oh boy,
Mm-hmm.
the things I could have done with $9,000 from my grandma.
I have a great idea for you, TM.
No,
Let's
literally, it was a joke amongst me and my family, because so the grandma I'm talking about is my mom's mom, but my dad's
Mm-hmm.
mom was just diagnosed with like early onset dementia, so she's already kind
Mm-hmm.
of going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
the joke was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna give Nana a call. I know exactly what needs to be done."
Oh god.
Which is terrible.
Poor
Don't steal
Nana.
money from old people, but also it's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
It's just a little bit funny. But yeah,
But
I
that's
didn't know, like,
crazy.
I heard that that was a thing, but I didn't know, like, it was an actual,
Yeah.
like, it actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. That's fucked up. I hope she went to the police or something.
And like so much so that she was convinced she was talking to my cousin Ricky.
Oh, wow.
Like it was his voice, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And that's what's
That's so
scary is they
crazy.
not only have like your voice or your relative's
Mm-hmm.
voice or whatever, but they also know your relation to the person. They know things
Mm-hmm.
about you and your family. It's like
Mm-hmm.
terrifying.
That's so scary. I don't know the ins and outs of that at all, but the fact that your poor grandma got scammed by that, that's so sad.
Mm-hmm. And she's never gonna get that money back. There's no way to get it back.
Mm-hmm. I guess you can't really go to the police with it and be like, hey, help me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
When you fall for a scam, it's your fault. It's nothing
Mm-hmm.
that can be done.
That's so upsetting. That's so bad. No, because I would fall for that scam. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I'm too much of a cheapskate. But, like, if I had money, I would do it.
Yeah, maybe I feel like maybe I'd fall for it, but like I wouldn't be able to
Mm-hmm.
give them any money. But also, I have like I have like a code word with my
Mm.
family, like my immediate family, not like my aunts and my
Right.
uncles and all that. But I also don't really care much about most of my aunts and uncles, so
Oh, ow.
If one of my aunts and uncles like called me and they were like, I need money, I'd be like, you're barking up the wrong tree, man. I ain't giving you anything.
Oh god, yeah, no, honestly fair. And plus, why would they go to you, a college student, for your money? That's like immediately a red flag.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. If someone came to me and was like, I need money, unless it's my siblings, I'd be like, girl, I have like 25 cents to my name. Shut up, go away. I am not giving you 15 cents because I cannot afford this.
Yep.
Yeah. But gosh, your poor grandma. She did not deserve that. Mm. Me oh
Anyways.
my. But yeah, speaking of old people, my tales always they surround like all of my stories involve at least one old person. And I don't know what that says about me, but like I think we're getting older. I think I can feel my bones like crackling. Every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, my
We
my
are
arthritis.
19 going on 90.
Literally, I can see the end coming. It's gonna
2 feet in the grave, guys. It was nice knowing you.
quickly. I'll see you guys in heaven or hell. We'll see. Yeah.
Let me just note, I have just been notified my phone is at 10%.
No. Do you
I
have a
don't know
charger?
why we always do this, but it always seems that
Mm-hmm.
one or both of our phones are dying when we decide to start recording this.
Yep.
We like to live
Um.
life on the edge. What can we say?
Always.
Let's hear the old
Honestly, hey,
person story and pray that my phone makes it to the end.
makes it to the end of this. So yeah, it's the same place I'm living at with the lawnmower guy. Funnily enough, he's actually my neighbor, Mr. Old Man. Um, so I basically lived in like what was it? It was like a rental apartment, but the apartment building had like maybe 5 apartments in it. So it's like a small enough house, but it had like apartments in it, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, and this guy lived on like the main floor that you had to like go on to get outside. So I saw him pretty often, but his family and him was Mennonite. And honestly, I don't know much about him or his wife or anything like that. But he seemed like the first time I saw him, shivers were sent up my spine. I don't want to be
Uh-oh.
rude, but he looked like, oh God, he looked straight out of Resident Evil 7. Like the dad, or I don't know if it was the
Yeah.
dad. Yeah, but like, I
That's a
don't want to be
niche
rude.
reference.
Yeah, but he looked straight out of Resident Evil 7. And like, he looked like it was terrifying. I saw him and I was like, oh lord, because he had like the overalls and the plaid shirt and I mean, yeah, he had like the hat and he just was tall and he kind of looked a little funny, not in a rude way, but like he looked a little different. Um, and so of course my brain was like, oh my gosh, that's a terrifying man. So I avoid him at all cost. I say hi. I go down to my room and I'm like, I don't want to see him ever again. But of course, I don't know if he has a job or if he's like retired or what. But he's around 24/7. Um, so whenever I go out to work, he's there. Whenever I come back, he's there. He's just like around always. And he's never like, being rude or creepy. Well, not like intentionally trying to be creepy, but like he's not, coming up to me and I don't know, slapping my ass or anything like that. Like, thank God. That'd be so weird.
Hmm.
Anyways, but it's just his vibe is so off. Like, ugh, shivers. Um, so I avoid trying to talk to him just because I don't feel comfortable. Like, I'm still polite. I'm still, like, being nice. It's just, like, I'm not trying to make conversation with him.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's the last day I'm living there. Last day any of us are living at that house. And me and my coworker are trying to get into our room because we seem to have locked ourselves out and we don't know where the key is. So we are actually my coworker wasn't even there at that time. It was just me. I locked myself out because I'm dumb. But it actually wasn't my fault at the end of the day. But that's fine. So I was like wandering around like the apartment building, and I see him, and I'm like, I wonder if he has like this building's like manager number or whatever. So I go up, I talk to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have her number," and he shows me WhatsApp, and she shows me like the WhatsApp, like the number for the girl that is like the manager apparently, and I'm like, okay, this is promising. And then he's like, here, if you press this button and you talk to it, it will actually record what you're saying and send it to her. So he basically wants me to send her a voice note. And I'm like, dude, first of all, you're terrifying close up. And second of all, I am not sending some random lady a voice note. I'm just gonna text her from your phone. So I'm like, hey, can I borrow that? Then I'll just text her. And he like insists that I send her a voice note. Like, he's like, you gotta press that button and then type out, like, and then say what you want to say. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like trying not to laugh because first of all, that's freaking hilarious, and second of all, this is just so weird. So I sent her a voice note. It turns out she's the wrong person to ask. And at the end of the day, we did manage to get into the door because we got someone to come with a key. But I was actually packing up my stuff right before that to leave. So I was packing my suitcase, packing up all my food, and I go outside, and he's there, and he's talking to my boss, and I go out there, and I'm like, thank you for your help to him, and he's like, oh yeah, no worries, just so you know, you girls never have to be scared of me. I know sometimes you don't want to talk to me, or you guys are scared of me, but don't worry, I'm a nice guy. Don't even worry about me at all. And I'm like, Nino, red flag alert. And I'm like, yeah, no, yeah, sure, for sure. And I get in my car and I drive off and I never look back, cause good lord.
Fair.
Anyways, that's my creepy man story number 2.
Honestly, that's the male equivalent of like the female saying like I'm not like other girls. It's guys
Literally.
going, I'm a nice guy. You can trust me. I'm one of the good ones.
I'm one of the good ones. He literally
and then
said
they
that,
murder
like,
you.
Exactly. Like, good lord. I'm sure he might have been just a really nice guy. Just had creepy vibes. But good gracious, was he not, he was just not, the message wasn't there. I couldn't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that might be my final story because...
Yep. I think that's gonna have to be it. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I was not better prepared for this, and that's my fault, guys. We were planning on ending this by talking a little bit about what school's been like so far, but honestly, screw it. We'll save it for the next podcast when we, like, debrief what university has been like, because that's probably what our next is gonna be about, like, in, I don't know, like a month or whatever.
Yeah. Whenever that comes out. Who knows?
The joys of the things you have to talk about when you're around the age of university times. Work and school, and that's about it.
That's about it. Work and school. I love life.
But yeah, there were stories I didn't tell, unfortunately, but it's mostly just the same things. Customers being annoying, making stupid comments, yada yada yada.
Right.
We better end this before my phone dies and we lose the footage or something. So
yeah, probably.
It's been a pleasure. If you made it this far,
sure.
Again, thank you so much, because I know that, like, these are harder to watch than other things, but we enjoy making them. So whoever is listening to this whole thing, we love you.
We love you.
Exactly. And yeah, that's it. How the hell do we end this? Is it just peace out?
I think it's just peace out.
All right.
Probably.
I guess that's it, guys.
Okay.
Have a good week or month or however it is until we film the next one. All right?
Yeah, whenever we see you again. Okay.
Ready? Oh, wait. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, guys. Okay.
Yes,
Anyways.
Please, like and subscribe. Ooh, I can't say anything today. Subscribe for cheap.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Peace out.